The text reminds us of using our financial means to make friends with Jehovah and Jesus. And even though Jehovah owns everything, seeing us giving, making sacrifices, makes him happy. The result is a close relationship, or in the words of our scripture text, we become friends. Then think about the fact that during the same time, 20,331 Bethelites served at the various branches. And we all got our modest allowance, and we all have something to eat. And then see that the branch facilities need to be maintained, and have been maintained. Or think about the relief ministry. In addition to the voluntary work of so many brothers and sisters, and in addition to their personal funds that they spend in order to help, the organization spends millions on the relief ministry. So our activity as a global organization is not performed in order to make financial profit, but in order to fulfill our assignment that Jesus gave. So in this way, whether we look at it as from the perspective of an individual, the congregation, or the global organization, let us continue to give from what we have. Let us continue to make sacrifices, and we will be happy with having Jehovah and Jesus as our friends.
So you saw the video where Watchtower is again asking for money, and this is driving a lot of people angry. But you have to understand that words mean things. And I'm going to show you this picture here. It's a dictionary. And the definition of dictionary, well, you see it right there. Watchtower fits the bill. And it's a business. All religions are business. Now, whether you have a small religion in a small neighborhood, in a small town, it's still a business because they have a checking account, they have money coming in, they have money going out, expenses coming in, expenses needing to be paid. And can they do good things and bad things? Of course. That's up to them. Same thing with multi-million dollars. There's a man who has, works with religions, and he's a religion in itself, and he has a big boat, and he sails across the whole world, and doctors come in, nurses come in that work for free, like a religion, and they work for free. What do? They help people with sicknesses, people that are very sick. They need special attention, and they provide that service for free. And how do they do it? Well, they solicit donations from other churches and from other groups or other corporations. So at the end of the day, that religion, whether you're small or large, is a business. Now, is it wrong? No, because all things are possible with God. But what happens is ex-Jehovah's Witnesses are angry. I'm angry. I hate Watchtower so much. I'm angry. Watchtower is a business. And so what if Watchtower is a business? The Catholic Church has hundreds and maybe even thousands of businesses. But they're all tied to the Catholic Church. So you can't avoid it, is what I'm saying. You have to live in reality. The reality is that they're all businesses, but your hate blinds you. I'll show you this clip real fast, and I quote it all the time. It's only 10 seconds.
Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
See, if you go down the path of anger, and if you go down the path of hate, you're going to be blinded. And you can't see that there's nothing wrong with making a profit. There's nothing wrong with making money. It's what you do with the fruit of your labor. You see, when a group of men and women get together and they work, and then they produce fruit, in this case it's money, what do they do with that fruit? And see, that's how we get judged as human beings. That's how we are finally judged also by our peers, whether people should listen to us or not. Now, Watchtower is also guilty of a lot of hate. Now, I don't love paying taxes, but Watchtower hates taxes so much that they have a bestseller. It's called My Book of Bible Stories. Now, Watchtower can make a lot of money on this book, doing a very good version of it, maybe even bringing back the old cover, and selling it for a target price. A Watchtower target price would be around $6.66. But if they would just pay the sales tax, like Jesus says, give what is Caesar's. And then what would happen? They wouldn't need to be making videos begging you for money. And then because a business produces a product that people want and need, then they would get profit, which is not bad, and they would use it to fund their operations. Now, a lot of people I understand you're still angry, you're still hateful because Watchtower needs to stop existing altogether. Well, we could have made that argument about the Pharisees and the religious class that killed Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ could have said, you know what, I'm going to kill you guys because you deserve it, and rightfully so. But Jesus Christ didn't go and kill all the Pharisees, right? He didn't go and bring destruction upon them right away. No. He gave them their time. And what came out of it? The Apostle Paul came out of it. Nicodemus. And there was a lot more people that were in that religious circle. And they came out. And what do? They formed other churches. But see, a lot of you Jehovah's Witnesses are so angry and so hateful. The Watchtower has to go down. The Watchtower has to go down. And you're so angry, you're so hateful that you're willing to let good Jehovah's Witness men and women die prematurely. It doesn't have to. They don't have to die. So if Watchtower stays afloat, but we're able in the big picture to, as apostates, as Jehovah's Witness in exiles, we're able to help our brothers and sisters. That's love. We love our Jehovah's Witness brothers and sisters, and we want them to escape. We want them to escape a ship, a plane that is destined for failure. Say, hey, the writing is on the wall. Get out alive while you can. Why? Because we love you. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is that fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. If you are so hateful because Watchtower is doing this, Watchtower is doing that, you're going to be blinded. That's the big picture to take away. So you have to replace your anger and you have to replace your hate with love. And the things that you do, you have to do out of love because you love people and you want them not to become members of your church, but you want them to escape and to be free and have a chance of living a life in freedom. So that's the big picture. In that video, what we saw with Watchtower is also the reason they have the problem that they do is because, look, I'm going to show you. George Washington was a CEO of a country. The buck stopped with him. Thomas Jefferson, the buck stopped with him. Right? Eisenhower, he was general and president, and he made the final decision. But what happens in the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses, you see a picture of them right there. The governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses is run by a group of CEOs, and they all think that they're top dogs. And that's also part of their failed business model. The communists were not known for being great venture capitalists. They weren't. And the reason why is because everybody wanted to be the chief executive. But in freedom, everybody's allowed to be the CEO, right? You're allowed to go to the top if you can make it on your merits. And that's what Watchtower doesn't have. And that's why Watchtower is begging for money. Watchtower is begging for money because they do not have strong leadership at the top. And the strong and they have a group of men that are sharing power. And it's just not working. And they're going into bankruptcy. They're having to sell everything out. So the answer is that the shareholders, the people that actually own Watchtower, the shareholders of New York and Pennsylvania, have to fire these men. They have to be fired. Now, some of you, again, are so angry and hateful. Says, no, Gilbert, it has to all go away. That's not for you or me to decide. What we're saying is that the religious leaders of the Jehovah's Witness, again, right there, they also have lost the vote of confidence. Do you remember in the Star Wars when they did the vote of confidence? It was, we have a vote of confidence, and then they lost the vote of confidence, and that's how a dictator can come in as well. But the governing body has lost the confidence of the Jehovah's Witnesses, and they're going away. They're voting with their feet, and they're going away. So the owners of the Watchtower, the corporate shareholders, need to understand we need to bring in somebody. We need to bring in a figurehead, a one-person figurehead. And that person is going to be the president. Yeah, he'll have, a body and so forth. But there's one person that's going to be in charge, and he's going to lead the ship. He's going to turn it around and go a different direction. That would be a good business strategy. because the business strategy that Watchtower is going down is not a very good strategy. Because at the end of the day, they are a business like all of the other religions are business. And that doesn't make it bad. A business is not bad. Money is not bad. It's the love of money or how you use it that determines whether what's here in your heart, whether you're a person of goodwill or whether you're an evil person. So again, don't be blinded by hate. Don't be blinded by anger, because that's what Watchtower has taught you by design. So that way when you leave, you're screwed. Watchtower wants to make sure that if you leave Watchtower, you're screwed. How are we going to make sure you're screwed after Watchtower? We're going to fill you with fear, anger, and hate. And that is the road to suffering. So that's all I have. You can go to ggforgb.com and you can get my voting ballot. And you can say, hey, Watchtower, we think this guy Gilbert, maybe give him a shot. Put him in charge. So that's all I have for you guys today. And thanks again for watching.
Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.